doubts over last class or day before? Do you have any doubts over last class or day before? Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is it going fine? I mean, the way it is, the last class and the day before it was taken, or is it going too fast? It is going too slow, or what? Any suggestion? Any comments? Or the how was the assignment? I mean, the was it easy? Was it difficult? Any comments?
The second question I felt was a bit vague. Like, it was difficult to think that in the first go. So,
Mm-hmm. Good, good. Thanks for your comment. Any other? I'll come to that part. Huh? Any other question or any other comments rather?
So I think we need a little more practice with IFTs.
Mm-hmm. Good. Um, yes, you're right. I just started with the kind of difficult or too many equations or too many parameters to too many variables to solve. So instead of easy or simplified diagram, I just took the complicated one. But I'll try to provide few more examples through some handouts, uh, so that you can look at them and you understand, and then the one that was solved in the class or rather in the given in the assignment, you will be able to understand. So this part I'll take a note. And also today I'll share the Ramirez book chapters. So most of the examples, they have first used IFT to demonstrate that how information flow diagram can be made, and then they have actually gone for solution. So in that way it would help you, in my opinion. So what do you suggest? I mean, maybe I take your opinion that should I share the whole ebook or the chapters wise as we cover in the class, the accordingly the chapters will be shared. Which one do you want?
so we already have the whole ebook. So, if you can maybe mention as like whatever chapters are means relevant to our syllabus, then it would be
I
of
see.
great help.
I see. Okay, definitely. Uh, that would be good then, since you have already the Ramirez book. So I will mark the particular examples or particular chapters so that you can emphasize on those things, and that would be, I think, good. So today we are not extending on what is called IFT part. Uh, we may revisit later as per the time remains. Today what we have decided, or what we are going to do, is doing some examples from chemical engineering uh, principle, chemical engineering subject, or chemical engineering domain knowledge, that where nonlinear you will encounter one or more nonlinear algebraic equations, and how you implement those them in MATLAB for quick and easy solutions. So we'll today take three particular examples. one from equation of state, another from vapor liquid equilibrium calculations, and another from chemical reaction equilibrium calculations. So these are very important in chemical engineering subject, which you have covered the theory part, or I would say the principles behind them, and mostly these topics have been covered in thermodynamics and possibly in mass transfer. I do not know if you have gone through those y and x calculations from the k value that comes in the vapor liquid equilibrium calculations. So today we'll see three different examples and also solving them using MATLAB. So you can expect that after today's class you will be provided another assignment which will have similar type of questions that we have solved in the class or we have discussed in the class. So that I'm trying to give you the assignments that are covered in the class, the similar questions, similar topic, so that you can practice them. This would help you in two ways, in my opinion. The concepts that are being covered can be easily understood by solving questions through assignments. And secondly is that it would also build up your own confidence for preparing in the final examinations. So this, let us proceed then. Okay. Let me share the content. Okay. So you have all seen the equation of state, right? From in the thermodynamics course, you have seen the application of different equation of state. We all know the ideal gas law, and that is PV equal to nRT. So we can slightly rearrange the equations and get specific volume in terms of per unit mole or per unit mass. So that small v, that is called specific volume, is it can be obtained from not only the ideal gas law but the real gas equations. So we all know the limitations of ideal gas law and why the other equation of states are important. So in general, equation of states are the fundamentals or the foundations in chemical plant design, because why I am relating this a big unit or big thing to the just as equation of state, because the important quantity or the property that we actually calculate is the specific volume. So this specific volume is very important in terms of if you can calculate the specific volume for a particular gas or mixture of gases, and in chemical plant we typically deal with a mixture of gases. So the determination of specific volume will give you the size of the particular equipment or such particular let's say it is a piping network, or it is a diameter of distillation tower, or the chemical reactor. So in whatever unit processes and unit particular operations that you actually do, you will invariably see the application of equation of state. And provided that because individual component specific volume uh, can be calculated from the particular equation of state, but more importantly we are interested in enthalpy, interested in the mixture properties. So in that way you have to solve equations, but we will see how it can be obtained, or how it actually proceeds. So not only specific volume, I mean, not only the volume of the particular equipment or particular unit, but it can also be calculated. It is also used to calculate the enthalpy of the mixture, enthalpy of maybe one component or several components. So that enthalpy is used for making energy balance and used in many other problems. So the specific volume is therefore most important quantity that we need to calculate. And other areas where we see this kind of nonlinear algebraic equations are basically the estimation of let's say fugacity, if you want to calculate. So there also you will see that you have to solve equations like this. Similarly, chemical reaction equilibrium, not only for single reactions, the extent of in chemical reaction equilibrium we try to calculate the thermodynamic limit, the extent of reactions. The we call conversion, we call equilibrium conversions. But important parameter that we calculate is the extent of reaction. So these are the different areas where you primarily solve algebraic equations which are nonlinear in nature. So let us see how we have taken one particular examples and extended that single gas to a mixture of gases, how we will actually solve them. So typically this PV equals to nRT that we use for ideal gas law, but it's because it is a limitation for low pressure only up to 10 atmosphere, let's say. But in chemical engineering plant or other, let's say it's ammonia synthesis process, which typically occurs at very high pressure. So you are not able to use for ideal gas law. You have to use for some other equations, let's say RK equation of state or SRK equations. So these are modifications to the existing this equation, that is this van der Waals equation of state. And typically these two parameters, which are A and B, these we actually obtain from the knowledge of this critical temperature, critical pressure, and reduced temperature. So these are specific to particular chemical or particular compound that we or component that we have in with us. So in that way we can list down the interaction parameter for single component. And typically for gas mixture calculations, we apply the mixing rule so that we can calculate the mixtures A and B. So ultimately, whether you take a single component or multi-component, you ultimately will solve equation like this, which have a cubic function typically in terms of specific volume. Rest of the quantity, let's say pressure at which you want to solve or the temperature at which you want to solve, these are actually supplied. So what are the things that are known except V cap, which is the specific volume? This P, T, A and B, these are typically known, and therefore it's a single variable, and this particular type of equations, which is a function of volume, specific volume, that equals to 0. So you want to get the roots of these equations, so which is a nonlinear algebraic equation. So one particular examples we have taken. Okay, it has gone rotated. Okay. So yes, yeah, this I was actually mentioning that for mixture of gases, you just have to calculate the individual, you know the individual A and B, that is the interaction parameters that accounts for the non-ideality, or we say the transitions from ideal to real gas law. So this once you know them, then you can apply the mixing rule to calculate the A and B for gas mixture. So, and if you plug into particular type of equations which we have solved, which we have explained here or expressed here, depending on a type of equations that you are actually taking, RK equation of state or SRK equation of state, so you will get a function like this, f of v cap equals to 0. So there can be analytical solutions because it's a cubic equations, but you can solve them. But there is more quick and easy solutions that are obtained through numerical technique or iterative technique that we have with us. So we try to implement them in MATLAB instead of doing analytical solutions, because sometimes the equations are cumbersome. It is difficult to obtain proper roots. So better to use the numerical solutions. So one particular examples that we are actually will be doing through MATLAB is the specific volume calculations of N-butane at particular temperature, which is given here, and pressure using RK equation of state. So before we go to this MATLAB demonstration for this particular problem, these 3 steps must be followed in this kind of examples, in this kind of problem. Basically, you first will prepare a MATLAB file. So I'll show that this is typically written in a function file, or we call generally MATLAB file. It can be a script file or it can be a function file. If it is a function file, you have to use proper command in command window or in another script file. So in general, if we write the lines algorithm wise or the principle wise, we can get a script file, or if we use a particular functions, then that is called a function files. So this given temperature, pressure, and thermodynamic other properties for like the A and B, which are coming from critical temperature, critical pressure. So you prepare a MATLAB file. So that is the first step. Second step is basically this particular name is given because we will solve now. So the function file has to be named like this, the specific volume calculation. So that is the name given. So we have to test the function whether it gives a meaningful value. So that is the step 2. So we write some commands in the MATLAB command window. So that gives us the proper check that we are actually using the right functions, or we have written the functions properly. And then ultimately we use this F0, which is already an inbuilt command in MATLAB, which solves the nonlinear algebraic equations. So we typically know the different techniques that are used for solving nonlinear algebraic equations. What are the different techniques? Numerical techniques. Do you remember in some of the techniques that you have studied in numerical methods?
Sir, RK method, Newton law method.
No. RK method for algebraic equation solving.
No, sir, these are for linear equations basically.
No. RK method for solving ODE, right? System of ODEs.
Yes, sir.
So I am asking about solving nonlinear algebraic equations. Let's say this function file, this function which is a cubic function of specific volume, but there can be examples which solves the friction factor, right? Friction factor for pipe flow. And if you remember from your fluid mechanics study that there is called this chart, Moody's chart, which relates the Reynolds number and friction factor. So in the Moody's chart, if you remember, you get this kind of linear and then this horizontal portion. So this particular area is a nonlinear function, which takes into account your turbulent flow. So this is F, and this is Reynolds number plot. Now in the nonlinear portion, you see that there is a calculation of friction factor as a function of Reynolds number, which is a function which is not a linear type equation, which has a logarithmic term involved, which has some square root of Reynolds number, some complicated functions. So typically the analytical solution is difficult, and many often these equations are implicit in nature if you solve simultaneous equations I'm talking about. But if a single variable, then also it is a nonlinear type. So what methods we use to solve them? There are 3-4 standard methods.
So we can use a Newton-Raphson method.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can also use a finite difference method.
Finite difference for algebraic equation solving? No.
Yes, sir. I think there is a method. Probably. I'm not very sure, but probably.
Okay.
Newton-Raphson is more commonly used.
More commonly used, but we all start with we don't actually start directly with Newton-Raphson. If you remember correctly, we start with let's say bisection method, and then Regula-Falsi. Those are the primitive one, I would say. So we try to look at a particular boundary, and then we f of a, if it is less than 0 and f of b greater than 0, that means we choose that boundary between a and b, and then we again narrow down the boundary and try to reach to that particular root. So this f0 is a kind of technique or MATLAB routine, subroutine we can call, which has been taken, or which has been written based on this bisection method. I mean, it tries to find a root by limiting the range. Going in that. So the basis is basically the bisection or Regula-Falsi, you can say. So we introduce to this particular f0, and if it is a single variable, then f0 gives a decent results. I mean, basically the correct values. So let us go to the MATLAB and come back to this particular file little later to give you another examples. So now we just show you the MATLAB file, how to get results using, and more importantly, we'll see that it is very specific to initial guess. So let us cover those part now. Go to MATLAB. If you have MATLAB also with your laptop, you can try to write them, or I will share the MATLAB files. You can later on implement them. Okay, so is the screen visible? Maybe I increase the font size. Oh, it has gone there. Can you read it, or it is too small to read?
Sir, it's visible.
It's visible. Okay, great. So these questions that is typically given in the lecture material, it was the N-butane specific volume. So for N-butane, you can have this critical temperature, critical pressure data, and the particular temperature and pressure at which you are trying to calculate the specific volume, that is also mentioned, are we typically note down. So these are basically constants. And then in RK equation of state, the main part is the calculation of A and B, that parameter, that interaction parameters. So those expressions you have to write in order to solve the intermediate values, and after that you plug in that thing to write in terms of this function file. So this function file, the strategy or the idea behind writing the function file is that there is a output arguments, which is y, that is a function of this volume, which is the input argument, and rest of the other parameter must be known in order to evaluate this particular expression. And spec vol is basically the file name that must be the same as this function file. So if you write in this way, it automatically gets saved, or it asks in this way that you have to save the file in this particular name. So if there is a mismatch, then it will not get executed. So that is the warning message, or that is the important part. So if you go with this, then it is basically the provided some v, you actually calculate y. But what particular v you will take? So there comes the application of F0. So I'll now show in the command window that the particular command that you have to apply to calculate the v. So so this is the step one. If you remember correctly, in the PDF I was explaining that first you have to write the function file. Second, you have to check it through some value to test the function whether you are getting y as finite value, or whether the program has been written correctly or not. So it is just the command feval, which is the function evaluation, then the spec vol, and let's say you take some 2. So that means it will execute this particular function with the input argument 2. So you get some numbers, but I think it is not correct. Maybe it has gone some, let's see. Point how the ARK and those are coming. Okay. Okay, all right. I mean, we maybe it is although it is not matching with the data that I have, but anyways, let us try to solve by F0 to get the root. That is important.
So we're finding the specific volume here in the code, right?
Yes. We'll try to solve the V. So that V equals to F0 we start with the initial guess 1. What would happen? 0.9394. If we change it, same low number. So that is the, I mean, if you change the case value, your specific volume gets changed, and sometime it gives you the liquid specific volume, or sometime it gives you the gas specific volume. So one idea behind choosing the initial case is that at the prevailing temperature and pressure, this P equals to 16 and atmosphere and temperature equal to 393 Kelvin. At this particular temperature and pressure, if you are aware of that whether the n-butane is gas or liquid, then in that case you would expect that so you know some informations beforehand, you know some physical situations about the problem or about the question that is you are actually handling. So that gives you one good idea about what particular initial case, because liquid specific volume of liquid is much less, much less than the specific volume of gas. So in that way, you can try to fit the input or initial guess if you know the situation, if you know the at the prevailing temperature and pressure whether N-butane is gas only. Is it clear? Am I or if I have made a mistake, you can correct me. Is it fine?
Sir, can you repeat how did you calculate V using F0?
Okay. So CLC command is basically the clear the screen, basically whatever. Now what we are supplying here is we are trying to calculate the N-butane specific volume at this particular temperature and pressure. So units are actually given here, which particular unit we are trying to use. R is taken accordingly. So at this Kelvin temperature and at this pressure, we are trying to calculate the specific volume. Now we know the critical temperature, critical pressure. These are property data of N-butane which we have listed. Now, ARK and BRK are actually obtained from, RK stands for the particular equation of state. A and B parameter are calculated, and this specific volume expression is supplied to you, or it comes from the RK equation of state. So what we are actually doing here, we are trying to write a function which relates the input and output. Now input is the specific volume and output is the Y. Now this Y, which is a function of specific volume, because rest of the quantity are known, we can call it simply as function of V cap, a function of V, which is specific volume here. And we are trying to use the F0 technique to solve it, or rather to get the roots, that is the V. Now a different initial case will give you different roots. Okay, that is number one. Second thing is that it is second thing is that which particular initial case you will actually take to solve it. Now there I let me first show that if we change the case values, then different numbers are coming. So it is F0. This is the way it is written. Spec all, which is the function file name, and then comma, let's say I'm giving 1, which is the initial guess with 1. So what does it do? It first solves it with this particular initial guess. It tries to calculate the this function value, but it is not 0. So after solving it, it iterates and it tries to improve the initial case towards the desired root. So what data we are actually getting here, ARK and BRK, actually let me show the intermediate step. See, so there are many intermediate steps, and if you want to see how the updates are happen, then maybe we have to remove the semicolon. Let's remove the semicolon here. Solve again. So let's say actually we are trying to solve it. We are trying to get the roots, right? So at the desired root, the function value should be 0. The Y should get 0. at the desired value of v. Now, if you started with 1, then the function value that you are actually getting is minus 5.1170. So this is not 0, but that means the initial case that you have provided 1, it is not the desired root. So again it improves and it gives you minus 2.5. So in this way the iteration actually continues, and you will see that after many iterations you get the value of functions to be going towards 0, like this. Yeah, from this point onwards, maybe after 4 or 5 iterations, it is going to 10 power minus 4, and then accordingly 10 power minus 7, so which is basically assumed to be 0. So at these conditions, the v actually gives you, which you are getting 0.9394. Now, if we look at the specific volume table of N-butane, we can check it whether this is typically at this pressure. I guess it is the liquid part or the specific volume of the liquid. Let us just, for the sake of calculations, we just take some higher number of initial gas. See what happens. It is giving 0.93, 0.94. So that is the desired. Yes. So this is how you try to check with different numbers. That is the question. That is the trick. Initial case you vary and try to see how your final results are actually varying or not. And one thing is that suppose you forgot to calculate this y, or there is one more check whether you are getting 0 or not at this. So f eval if you do, and just write spec vol and this answer. Answer means the last thing that you have actually obtained. So at this point, if you calculate and if you this function data, this y, it should return the 0. So this is the one, this 3.55. So that means that at the desired root your y is 0. So this is assumed to be 0, but MATLAB uses the format long, so that's why this it is like it is written in, it is coming in this format, 10 power minus 15. So the three things that you have to check it here, that you write the proper function file, then you use the closest possible initial guess so that it directs to the desired root. And third is that at the desired root, you check the function file again whether it returns 0 or not. Okay, all right.
Sir,
Bolo.
in which part of the code we are mentioning the stopping case for the iteration?
We are not using any stopping case right now. That F0 can be, well, it is a good thing. Maybe we introduce this options parameter where you actually give the tolerance. So there is one, let's try to, it's good that you have pointed out. Let's see. @ spec vol. Let's say initial guess is 2, and I just try this. I'm not sure. Options. Okay, so typically this options, this actually is a file handle. There actually we give the tolerance 10 power minus 3 or 10 power minus 4. So that actually allows us to stop it between, because updated roots, the error is calculated between the successive roots, and if it is less than the desired or provided supplied tolerance value, then the F0 actually stops and gives us the root. So it's typically अच्छा help if tall x, typically this 10 power minus 6 is that MATLAB uses this tolerance. So beyond which it actually gives us the roots. I mean, once it satisfies. But if you want to change the tolerance, then you have to use this parameter handling called F options. This part I have to also see. I do not know right now. But it can be done, it can be modified. Can be modified, I think. Okay, I just shown as an example, but of course one can explore. So try to see if something more can be obtained, or if I get some more related informations, I'll pass it on. Sometimes what you can do is just write help F0, which details about the functions that it actually or the logic that the technique. You can you can get more information about this technique. Are you able to see this also, F0, this particular page, or it is not shared, right? Maybe I shared this particular screen also. So what did I do? I just typed this help F0, and then if you go to that particular page, help page, you get more of the details about this F0, which is the root of nonlinear function. And then it says about that it changes sign from this particular value to this, the one I was explaining, the bisection method. So it actually applies that technique. And sometimes you can change the format, the function file into this way, that the one which I was doing after getting the particular desired answer, we are trying to calculate F evaluations. Then exit flag sometimes says that whether F0 has stopped or the output that you are getting are correct. So typically it's a signal or it's a message that your calculation has been done successfully. So there are many ways, many formats that you can use for this particular type of problem. So there are examples also. Examples are given. You just go through them. I think that would give you some more idea. So MATLAB, the beauty thing is that there are so many examples. So you don't have to worry about how the so you have a lot of data, resources are there. So you can even see how the functions are evaluated, or the functions value are actually changing and going towards 0 as the iteration increases. You can also see how many iterations it has taken to got the root. I just typed the very basic one, or I just use the very basic function format, but there are more detailed and more informative way of writing. So these are the different thing. You just try out, you will be able to understand more. I think this is the best one or the most informative one. So function of x or f eval exit flag and output. So exit flag 1 means that your results are correct, and in which interval it has found the roots, that also is obtained. So yeah, algorithm is bisection and interpolation. So you will get, you just invest some more time to understand the F0, because you have the basics of numerical technique about this thing. And when you implement this kind of MATLAB single code or single subroutine format, it is better to also know the details or the background behind using them, because sometimes what happens, we often use many of the MATLAB function file or MATLAB inbuilt command, but what is happening behind, what is the logic, what is the principles of those particular routine, subroutine in the form of single line command, we fail to answer. So that should not be the case. It is good that you have pointed out this particular part, and it is always advisable that whenever you face this kind of, or you want to know more what MATLAB is doing, it's a easy way to search is that help and that particular function. So that is the important, that is typically advised. Maybe I open the MATLAB main window and share. So the way I written is help and then F0. Just you write help F0, but this particular subroutine in the form of command we are using. So help F0, and then you will get the reference page for F0. So if you click it here, and then you will get with examples. There are many examples to demonstrate this particular technique, the principles behind this technique, all the details you will get. So is it okay? So if I give one particular assignment related to this, and let's say the two component gas mixture with all available data, your task would be to first calculate the A and B of the mixture, and then using this A and B you can frame the equation in such a way that function of specific volume is 0, and you can implement the F0 technique to get the specific volume of the mixture itself. You should be able to get right. Yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Try out this particular course will guide you or will tell you that the more and more examples you do, the better you will have command, better you will have hold on this particular scientific computation language or tool, what you call. So in all other courses we actually do calculations to use, but this particular course can be distinguished from others is that we invest more amount of time in problem formulating and solutions through MATLAB. There are many questions, many problems that we typically encounter in different areas, starting from fluid mechanics to reaction engineering to mass transfer. But in all different areas will invariably require the computations, and the easy and quick way of doing it is by using MATLAB. So better, I have thought that I will give you the related assignments, which the topic which I will cover in the class, so that you can practice them and you get a good hold of using MATLAB, because that is the basis of modeling and simulation course. So in next semester or in next year course, you might get a you might take a course on process modeling and simulations and other. So there if you have thoroughly understood this particular course, it would help you in those things. Now let us go to the second problem, which I have not been able to write here, but quickly I'll try to write. So first let us formulate the problem, which is a vapor liquid equilibrium problem, the calculation of X and Y. So flash distillation, we all know about flash distillation, right? So what is flash distillation or flash separation? Don't call flash separation, right? We call phase separation through flash distillation. What is flash distillation? Any idea? So what is flash separation or flash distillation? What happened? What is flash distillation? No one is there. What happened?
Like, we don't exactly know it. Can you describe it if possible?
Oh, okay. I see. But wasn't it covered in mass transfer? Oh.
No, definitely not.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought this flash distillation was covered. Anyways, okay, I'll explain now. So suppose this what we call a phase separation. We call phase separation means like you. So typically this you have this idea, na? You all are at home. You can try out this. You go to your kitchen and you try to take water in a saucepan or some kind of pan, and you try to heat it. You try in a gas burner or induction, whatever you use. So initially at room temperature, suppose when you are not heating, it's just the water you have taken in a pan, and so then at that particular temperature, so the partial pressure of water in the air, partial pressure of water vapor in the air, that is typically equal to the vapor pressure of water at that temperature because of the equilibrium. Now, the moment you start heating the pan, the vapor pressure increases. Vapor pressure increases as the temperature rise, and then when that exceeds the partial pressure of water in that particular atmosphere or in that particular vicinity, So then the water will start evaporating, or it reaches the boiling point, and then all the liquid of water gets transferred, or gets the phase changes occurs. So it goes to the vapor phase. Now this is in a open vessel, we can think about it, or this is happening in a normal circumstances. But typically what happens when you have let's say components which needs to be separated. There are mixture of components. Let's say it's a petroleum fraction, it's a LPG fraction. Okay, LPG typically consists of what? Liquefied petroleum gas. It consists of C3 component, C4, C5, and not C5, maybe C3, typically C3, C4, but little amount of C5, C6, C7, like that. So if there are 3-4 components and you want to separate them, each of them, but typically what would happen in the, so see, flash distillation is one type of distillation where you actually separate the components. But the component by component separation is we are not achieving, we are not expecting here. What we are grossly expecting is that we start with a mixture. We start with a mixture through which we separate the least volatile and the most volatile. So that means the most volatile, what we mean, the most volatile means the boiling point is the lowest, and least volatile means the boiling point is the highest. In between other components, they will distribute themselves in both top product and bottom product. So that is the first idea that we understand in a distillation technique, or any distillation operation, is that when you encounter a particular, or when you give a feed with a particular compositions, and that particular composition means the there may be many components, many chemicals. It's not only a binary mixture. I'm just for the sake of understanding, I'm just taking the particular example of multi-component mixtures. So let's say there are 4 mixtures, 4 components that forms that particular feed mixture, and we want to separate them based on at least the most volatile and least volatile. So there is a feed. There is a feed that is going in here. Let me take a marker. So there is a feed that is going here, and Zi is basically the composition. That means the mole fractions of I can be running from 1 to 4, or depending on, in general, 1 to n. And there is a inlet pressure or temperature that is there. Through this throttle valve, you have idea about throttle valve, throttling process, where you actually reduce the pressure, keeping the enthalpy same. So some part of the components whose boiling point is very less, they actually gets flashed, and typically in a big drum or big container, you suddenly reduce the pressure to lower the boiling point, and the least volatile, more volatile component gets separated from the from the original mixture, which is goes into the bottom. So there is a liquid flash, and there is a vapor flash. So these two broad divisions that we actually make. Now this vapor phase can contain all the components, and of course the most volatile one will have the majority, and the least volatile will have the least amount. That means the mole fractions will be the least, and the vice versa. The one which we are getting in the vapor phase, the more volatile, the most volatile, that composition will be the lowest or the least one in this liquid flash. So typically a feed mixture gets separated into two broad thing, which is a vapor flash and liquid flash. So that is the overall mass balance we actually write here. F equals to V plus L, that we can always write. Next, what we write is the component mass balance. That means Zi is the mole fractions of ith component. Ith component. So this is the amount of I or a particular component in the feed. So that is equals to the, so this is a component balance. We all understand these particular equations. So these two equations are the basic, I mean the original one. Now, how do we introduce to this particular thing? So this is the, sometimes this capital K is called the partition coefficient or the equilibrium constant or equilibrium coefficient. Not equilibrium coefficient, I think it is called, what is called K values, typically called partition coefficient, or equilibrium constant. Equilibrium constant. So equilibrium between what? Equilibrium between the vapor phase and the liquid phase for that particular ith component. So K decides, so K is basically the ratio of y by x. That means higher the K, that means that particular component is preferring to stay in the vapor phase. And if K is less, then larger amount or large proportion of this particular component is in the liquid phase. So that is the generally we write in this particular format, the expression. So these three expressions are okay. You followed it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, there is a conservation law or conservation wise, we all can understand that whatever components we take, there can be 4, 5, 10, 11, 100 components, but the mole fractions of all the components in the liquid phase must be 1, and mole fractions for all the components in the vapor phase must be 1. So these two are universal relations. Wherever you whatever you number of components you take, this will always be hold true. So remember, y is for vapor phase compositions, vapor phase mole fractions, x is for liquid phase mole fractions, and some of them are 1. Now these two independently we can write and just subtract them. What we are doing here in this particular line is subtracting this above two expressions. So this is if we call one expression, and this is if you call second expression. So 1 minus 2 will give you this. Now through these relations yi equals to kxi, you just substitute it and you will get this I equals running from 1 to n ki minus 1 xi. Okay. So this is another expression. Maybe I use a different marker just to demonstrate that what are the expressions. So this is one expression we are actually solving, we are actually having with us. And then how do we transfer this to this? Let us try to understand. So what is our objective? Objective is to calculate the x and y. Objective is to calculate the x and y for let's say 4 components. I'll show the example little just after this analysis. So there are 4 components of which you know the k value and you know the initial mole fractions in the feed. So initial mole fraction in the feed if you know, and the k value if you know, then you can actually calculate the x and y of those components in the vapor phase and liquid phase. So that is what we are actually trying to get. So that is our objective. Okay. So now coming back to the expression again. So this is up to this is clear. Now what we are doing here, you just closely look at this particular expression, how we are getting it. We are just dividing this component balance by f on both the sides. Okay, and then we will get what? Zi equals to yi v by f plus xi L by f. I'm not writing because maybe it is not only taking time, but I'll be also not be able to write it properly, but I'm calling out, so you pay attention, so we will understand. So Zi equals to yi v by f plus xi L by f. Okay, now L is related to these expressions with f and v. So in here are the modified expressions which I have not written, but I'm calling. So we can substitute L as f minus v. After doing that, we can rearrange these equations where we introduce this particular parameter called v prime, which is v by f. That means fraction of feed that has gone in the vapor phase. So ultimately what is happening? This f is now going to some part of vapor and some part of liquid feed that is getting flashed. So this vapor v by f, these fractions is we are introducing is this called v prime. So we can substitute that and we can modify these expressions and get this particular expression. Okay, and again we are using these relations yi equals to kxi. So after doing that and rearranging, we'll get this kind of expression, which is where zi equals to ki minus 1 xi v prime plus xi. Is that fine? I mean, have you been able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So now what is happening? Remember, we know only Z and K. Other than this, we do not know anything. So, but we are aiming to solve X and Y. So how do you proceed further? Just go to. I don't know whether while scanning it may have got rotated. Okay. Okay, so this is the mole fractions in the liquid phase. So this expression is coming just by simplifying this. Sorry for this rotation thing. So we just taken this xi out. So xi is basically what is that? Zi whole divided by ki minus 1 into v plus 1. So this is the expression ultimately we'll get mole fractions of components in the liquid phase. And then we have this initial expressions, which is sum of yi minus sum of xi equals to 0. So if we substitute again this x and using proper relations yi equal to kxi, because we know only x in the form of z and k with the unknown v. This is an unknown parameter, but these are all known, right? So we substitute xi through proper expression to ultimately get this kind of simplified expression where there is only one variable, which I will call v prime, which is unknown, but it is for several components. It is for several components present in the mixture. You can take 4, you can take 10, hundreds, whatever. Sorry. So this this expression then leads to a nonlinear type of equations, isn't it? So this K calculations or vapor liquid compositions or flash separator calculation is very common and very frequently used in chemical process industry or chemical engineering in this thing. So I thought that this particular example would excite you, would give you a thorough understanding about the not only the flash separations or phase separation through flash distillation, but also the calculation wise, if you can solve it, which we will do now, provided this data we have with us, then we can use the same technique again to calculate this f0 through the f0 technique, and then we get a value of v prime. With the v prime value, you can again come back and check this expression as xi and yi you can actually calculate xi and yi, because all these expressions you have written in the form of z and k and v. So if you have obtained this v prime, then you can actually calculate xi, and yi can be obtained from ki xi. So sum of xi, sum of yi, it would come close to 1, and that means the that means that you got it right. The v prime has been calculated correctly. So, are my can you follow? Then we'll proceed to this solving through equations. F0.
Yes.
Okay, nice. So this is what we try to do now. Is what is called? Let us try to write it in MATLAB. To take little bit time for me to write, but it's okay. I think that way also you will be also understanding better. So those 3-step procedure again. So before I just said this is the problem that is given in hand, that it's a mixture which is having propane, butane, and some part of pentane and octane, and those Ki values, the phase separations, are actually obtained. So these Ki values are typically obtained from experiment. There is also called because it has been obtained from experiments and people have used it in the form of graph, that is called De Brewster chart. It's written in this way. You can later look at DEPRIST De Brewster chart. So typically it contains the K values for hydrocarbon and many liquids and many chemical De Brewster chart. You just after class you can search it about and know in detail. So that contains the K values in under one umbrella, you can call. Okay, so let us try to solve it through F0. Okay, for example, I save these annotations. Let us go to MATLAB. Okay, so this K values and XY calculation of petroleum fractions is I written. I can also add one more line, this paper, liquid, then we can start writing as function y equals, it's a VP equal right, and then we have these mole fractions with us, and 1, 0.3. There are 4 components, so we have to supply the input, the feed values. We have to also supply the K values. Two. Okay. First write and then I will explain. Possibly if you have followed the problem formulations well, then you should be able to relate it. we are just calculating numerator and denominator. Because if you remember that ultimate expressions which had only function of that v prime, which is the fraction of feed in paper, that contained numerator and denominator expression with a summation sign because all the components. So what we are doing here is numerator and denominator, we are trying to calculate those expressions which have with us with the unknown v prime. And that v prime we call fraction of feed in paper, which is written as v here. We are not introducing any prime here. So this is the denominator we are calculating. So now we update this sum to sum 1 plus denominator. End it. And then y equals to sum 1 Okay, now let us try to save it. No, we cannot write untitled. We have to write VP equal. Okay, now coming to main page command window, let us see if this works or not. F0. So now you can see here, did it return the just let me check whether so why don't it give the intermediate y? Let us, I want to see how the roots are actually changing from the initial value to the final value. This I have to find out the way, because we started with 0.2 and ultimately we are converging the root at 0.4258. So that structure I was referring, exit flag, this thing, I will try to implement that thing and then send you the code. Right now I'll send you after the class, but also the modifications can be done. So in the meantime I'll try, you can also try. So this 0.4258 is the correct answer. I mean, with which you will see that sum of xi equals to 1 and sum of yi equals to 1. So that is the desired result. Now what I'm trying to see is that how the roots are changing, whether it gives us the value or not. It is returning the value of y, which is the function value 10 power minus 16, that means 0. No, it is calculating numerator denominator. Okay, it is not calculating y in all the cases. Okay. So F0 do not show this intermediate thing. Now it can show. I think this the structure that I was referring in the help F0, you try to implement that in the figure in this thing. So possibly you have to write all those structure thing here with the proper output argument and proper input arguments. If you write in that way, then I think this final expression will just not have this answer equal to 0.4258. It will have those intermediate values, how the function f evaluations as a number of iterations increases, all those things with the exit flag and everything. You try out this, and I will also try to see if it is coming or not. But the idea is like this: if you can solve it, the different kind of problem, and there are many most important, or there are many important problem in this nonlinear algebraic equations applications. So this is one such area for paper liquid equilibrium calculation. This is very common in flash distillation and other binary distillation or multi-component distillation calculations, that the compositions at vapor phase and liquid phase, it can be obtained through this particular. So this MATLAB programming is very easy. Now here we haven't completed yet. Now we can calculate the using this 0.4258, we can calculate the sum of xi and yi. Now that same xi and yi, whether they are coming one or not, you can implement them again in this program itself. So after here, possibly you can write some lines to calculate it, or maybe you can directly write in the command line through proper functions. So the algorithm is like that you have obtained now the v prime, right? This v, the desired root you have obtained, and now if you go back to this expression again, let's say you go back to this expression again, and then you just plug in those that v prime, which is a single value, and then for all the components you just sum this xi. It should give 1, and once you have the xi, then you can simultaneously calculate y. So you have to create 2-3 extra table. Now you know v prime is so you know the table of zi, you know the table of k, then you should be able to calculate x, you should be able to calculate y. So after solving this, you should be able to match your results. This matching you can either do it in MATLAB, or you can also later on use Excel and check whether you have got it right or not. So that would tell us that whether the v prime, the root, is desired root or not, because this kind of nonlinear algebraic equations are very influenced by the nature of roots. Sorry, nature of case values. So this ensures that summation of xi and summation of yi equals to 1. It ensures that the roots are meaningful and the results are correct. Is it okay? Can you follow? Let me check with the students before I enter into the next final discussion part. Let us take some questions. So Dharmendra Kumar, are you present? Kunal Katiyar. Nikhil Agarwal. Shivam Srivastav. Or you are doing something else. We cannot see each other. That's a big difficulty. I do not know whether you are following the class or not. Did you understand the problem or the solutions that we have done through problem formulations and solution using MATLAB through F0 technique, and how you can improve the results in terms of different structures or the format that you can use through
Can you please
F0?
summarize the solution?
I couldn't hear properly, Aman. Can you repeat again?
Sir, can you please summarize what you have said about the solution?
Okay. Summarize in the sense you want to you want to you are asking that I will show the steps again, the MATLAB steps.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you follow the problem formulations part? Can you just briefly tell me what is happening in this flash calculations?
Sir, I think there are two variables, yi and xi, and we are basically calculating xi in the values of ki and zi in the last part that you have mentioned. And from through xi, we can use the relation sigma yi minus sigma xi equals to 1 to calculate yi through xi. So we are basically using MATLAB for that. But I didn't understand that you mentioned yi is not coming through. So
Okay. No. Okay. I got your point. So there are a couple of mistakes. I mean, I just correct that part. So basically, we can calculate this particular problem in Excel itself, but whatever you do, you have to finally solve this equation, which is of nonlinear in nature, nonlinear but algebraic equations. And why is that? Because if you followed the problem formulations part, we have a parameter that is called V by F. That means the fraction of feed that has gone into vapor phase. So that particular parameter is an unknown. Rest of the thing are known. And why I am saying that? Because if you look at the problem formulations, we have first expressed xi and yi as the universal relations 1, then use the common relations or the equilibrium partition, equilibrium coefficient, equilibrium constant ki, and then we just calculated we just substituted through overall material balance and component balance the expressions, and then we obtained an expression which is having a which contain terms like zi, k, and v. That v is basically the or small v rather, which is the fraction of feed in the vapor. That means v by f, that parameter. So there is we reduce the problem. We reduce the two terms which we want to calculate, xi and yi, because we are interested to see how the components has now been separated into vapor and liquid phase and what are their compositions. So we are interested in that. That's why we substituted and through algebraic expressions or through rearranging the equations, we are getting or we are trying to simplify in one variable so that we can solve it and then again plug in that value to calculate xi and yi. So that is the whole strategy. So before to two thing I always will try to say, I mean, emphasizing factor is that you formulate the problem in such a way that you arrive at a point where you can quickly and easily solve it using MATLAB functions. That is the critical part, I will say. Problem formulations and arranging the equations in such a way that you get a expression which is achievable, which is solvable using MATLAB, either ODE or PD or linear algebraic type or nonlinear algebraic type. These are four major type of equations in chemical engineering applications we will always find out. Today we are just looking at the vapor liquid equilibrium problem, or let's say specific volume, or any of the equation of state thing, where we do see we don't see any ODE or PD. Subsequent classes we will see several examples from other type of equations, which are ordinary differential equations or partial differential equations. Now, two things, as I mentioned, that critical is the problem formulations and arranging the equations in such a way that you get an expression which you will be able to solve in MATLAB. And the second part is that which particular functions or which particular algorithm you will use to solve this system of equations, whether linear, nonlinear, algebraic, or ODE or PDE in nature. So other classes you can understand that these two things will be given emphasis, and several different areas will be covered. Today we have covered this flash distillation from mass transfer course. Now it's good that you have got the idea about this flash distillation, not only that the theory part, but also the calculations, what we actually aim to calculate and how do we calculate. Okay, any other query or any other comments?
Sir, could you share the two MATLAB files also along with?
Yes. Definitely, I'll share that part. I'll request, or rather, I will ask to all of you to try out this code on your own, because repeatedly I will tell this thing that in the exam you will expect that you have to write MATLAB code, and that's a final examination, and better you practice them. And second thing is that the code that I said, I have also shown the F0 functions, the output arguments and input arguments, which have this exit flag options, and F VAL, that F function value as a at different iterations. So that you try out that particular arguments, that particular structure, so that you understand that at what up to which iterations the F0 actually worked, and how the function values are changing from iteration to iterations. And basically, more importantly, is that from the initial case to the desired route, how the values got changed with the iterations. So this idea would give you what is happening inside, what is going behind this F0 routine, or F0 subroutine we call it. Okay, now this course we try to improve, I mean rather make you more exciting, in the sense that these examples that we are doing through MATLAB, the same examples can be done through Aspen. Now that's Professor Sambabu and myself are have thought about, or tried to figure out that we'll try to keep the examples same, and he will try to focus on Aspen to show you the same results, to show you the same problem, which you can do both. So after end of this course, you should be able to be more familiar in handling MATLAB and Aspen, and we want you to get familiar with MATLAB and Aspen, because these are the two workhorses in chemical engineering problem, chemical engineering modeling and simulations. And in next semester, you will see that there is a CAPE lab, where you have to solve several examples, several exercise problem, as laboratory in that way. So better to get a good hold or good command on those interfaces. Okay, finally, I won't extend much. Maybe one examples I will show, and we can little bit start from the next class itself. This fsolve, that is another functions which actually solves the equilibrium problem, chemical equilibrium problem. This code is written, so we don't have to worry about the fact, but only thing is that we set the problem ready to you so that you can practice as an assignment. So any chemical reaction equilibrium. So this is a water gas shift reactions. It has it is slightly endothermic. Endothermic? No, this is exothermic. This is slightly exothermic. I think 40 point something kilojoule per mole. And this is the equilibrium constant. Huh? So typically we are familiar with this sort of expressions, isn't it? Have you seen this kind of expressions where we relate the mole fractions with equilibrium constant?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So that is another area where you can again implement this nonlinear algebraic equations. But here we use two different type of equations, fsolve or f-mean search. So these are typically applicable when you have more than one variable. It more efficiently solve and get the desired root. So instead of taking one more expression, let's say this, I'll give you an exercise problem, steam reforming of methane. So in steam reforming of methane, there is another reactions that actually happens is this reverse what is called water gas shift reactions, because steam reforming of methane is what, CH4 plus 3H2O, CH4 plus, because steam reforming of methane is another one important process industrial application where you actually 3H2O, where you actually generate hydrogen industrially, because these other sources of hydrogen generation in industry are not used for rather are used internally. I mean, this is the larger source for generating hydrogen in industry, or traditional source for generating hydrogen from fossil fuel. So hydrogen plus what, CO, na 3CO, 3 hydrogen plus CO, or maybe I am making mistake. This should not be there. So this is the expression that we will see in steam reforming of methane. Additionally, what is happening, this CO plus H2, the CO generated can react with water to generate more hydrogen. So these two simultaneous equation will leads to two kind of expressions. I mean, the first reactions will have this extent of reaction epsilon 1, and the second reaction will have an expression of epsilon 2. So provided the rest of the thing you know, that means the equilibrium constant you know for each of these reactions at a particular temperature that you are trying to see the extent of reactions. So you can write these mole fractions in the form of extent of reactions, and that two expressions will be heavily coupled. I mean, the complicated nature there, epsilon 1 square, epsilon 2 to the power 4 something. So that's highly nonlinear, and simultaneous equations can be very efficiently solved using fsolve or f-mean search. Now again, to know more detail about fsolve, which is a modified version of Newton-Raphson, whereas f0 was a modified version of a bisection method, and f-mean search is a minimization routine or optimization routine. So typically this fsolve is used. Now these two mathematical algebraic expression or other nonlinear expression we have taken as an example to show you the application of fsolve in MATLAB. So just quickly going to that part, and this reaction equilibrium problem I will give an assignment. Okay, what is there? So typically these expressions are written this kind of code that you pass this x and y as p arguments. P is a vector kind of which have two elements because we are calculating two functions and two unknowns. So either you so basically you write the functions in the same way the problem that you will formulate the reaction equilibrium problem. This y2 and 1 and y2 2 we are the two functions expressions, and then we what we do is use the fsolve. Let's say z equal to fsolve. First we have to keep some case value, and then how do we are doing it? This is upward arrow. Upward arrow takes into account the history, whatever you have written earlier. So I just tried out this thing yesterday, so this is already saved in this format. So if you do this, then it is giving us these particular roots. Now, how do you check that whether these roots are correct or not? You try to calculate the f eval at this function, at this answer value. So using that value, you are at the root itself. If you so if you do this, so what I am doing, that whatever answers that we have got from fsolve, the two roots, we have used this f eval function evaluations of that particular function's two expressions using the final value, and we are getting 0. Similarly, you can also implement the subroutine which is fmin search. Here what we are doing, the norm of vector is minimized. That means the f1 and f2, which are the two expressions for simultaneous equations, we are taking this another expression which is square root of f1 and f2. That means f1 square and f2 square. So sum of these two vectors. So you know what is the vector norm of a vector? How do you calculate? You are familiar with the expression, right? Summation of x square plus y square plus z square. Basically length of a vector, or norm we call often. No? So this length we are trying to minimize. The norm of this functions f1 and f2 we are trying to minimize. So this y2 has to be written as a optimization routine or algorithm, and then we use this fmin search algorithm or fmin search functions, not functions, the command. Let's say you use this initial values, and then vector equal to fmin search. This is the one. So you can see that the same expressions or the same results you have also obtained from fmin search, and then you again check that if eval and you see that this is 10 power minus 6 for both the f1 and f2, 10 power minus 4 and 10 power, that means 0. So either you use fsolve or you use fmin search, you should be able to get the desired root, but provided the fact that these are influenced by the initial case values. For example, the extent of reactions cannot be more than 1, right? So you have to use a proper case value in that way, that extent of reactions should be given in such a way that you get the desired root. And whether you are getting desired root or not, how do you check? You use this f eval, so that the final functions value. That means because we all know that this is a like function of x1 and x2 equal to 0. So that means at the desired root, the function value should be 0 or close to 0. So that MATLAB gives you not 0 in this way, but 10 power minus 4, 10 power minus 6 in that. So use these expressions if well. Okay. So these are the few examples we tried to show, and you will be given as exercises in the form of assignment. So you try to solve them. So this time I would expect that you would also write the MATLAB code and you will practice it, you will solve and see how it try out in this way for different examples. I will send all this MATLAB code and handwritten notes and everything. So today we saw the 3 different areas where you can implement the nonlinear algebraic equations. There are many other examples which I couldn't cover, but there are one more I talked about this fluid mechanics where you have to solve the friction factor, which is a function of Reynolds number, and typically the expressions are nonlinear in nature, algebraic equations you have to solve. So giving a proper gauge value, you get a friction factor over a range of Reynolds number. Okay, I think that should be all for today's class. If you have some quick questions, you can ask, or maybe in the next class, whatever you decide. 1 or 2 quick questions if you have. Tanmay is there? Tanmay Jadhav?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. You have taken attendance now?
No, sir. That's why I was asking for the permission.
Yes,
So,
yes.
If you could send me the file.
Okay.
That would be great. Then I can mark.
Take.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, students. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you, TS. We will communicate over email for assignment grading and up. Thank you, students.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.